It's Week 9 of the 2026 season. Up next, we'll get a look at Patrick Mahomes. He's been sensational as he leads the league in touchdown passes. It's the Commanders and the Eagles on EA Sports.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Today it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Come on now!
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9?
Very short kick taken right at the 20.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
And there was a positive in last week's loss. No interceptions thrown by him. But he only threw one touchdown pass, and you know he wants that to improve. He might even consider that as part of the reason.
Hurts throwing right away. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home.
That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
So much for coming out throwing as it leads to an early second down and long. Another try after the first down sack. Hurts, and his throw's going to be incomplete. I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is third and long.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
Can't get away, and he's taken down.
Chase Young
in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
What a great job getting pressure here on the first drive. 3 plays and already 2 sacks.
And that pressure has been intense right from the beginning, and I'm telling you, if they don't make an adjustment in play calling and protection, it'll go from intense to relentless.
The Eagles send out their punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. It's taken to the 26. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Here are the Commanders for their first drive of the game.
They'll be led out by the MVP of the National Football League in 2018, the former Texas Tech Red Raider, Patrick Mahomes.
And I think if you ask most folks to give you their first half MVP, very likely they're going to say it's this man right here. The NFL's leader in touchdown passes to this point in the season. Still 2 months to go. But if he can keep going at the pace he's at, this is going to be a dangerous team come January, and he could very well walk away with the MVP.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
Right. What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snootful, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. On play action, it's Mahomes. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Running left, Taylor.
Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. They go play fake. Mahomes.
This went into the hands of Pitts. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
There's so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
He'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
On the handoff, Taylor.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. Toward the pylon, caught. Touchdown.
Jameson Williams
with touchdown number 12 on the year.
And the Commanders are on the board first here this afternoon.
Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
From just inside the 20, a short kick.
Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
They started on the ground with Eckler. Shifts by him. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a 1st down. It's Eckler again. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
I tell you what, CD, this Washington defense, very strong in the victory last week.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Running on first down, Eckler.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
On 2nd and 7, Hurts. And it'll be intercepted.
Tariq Woolen picks it, and the Commanders are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
Well, your first drive of the first quarter, you get it down there, try to fire it in the end zone, and big-time deflation on that play.
No doubt about it. They're moving and grooving and getting into position, and this is not the ending that they saw on this drive, is it? They had things going their way.
Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go, and we've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they aren't a first or a second seed come playoff time.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
On 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on to punt.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Well, pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CD, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here because to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3-6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Throwing is Hurts.
And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's 4th. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
So here is Washington now to take over.
They've got the lead right now, and remember, they are riding that very impressive 7-game winning streak, trying to push it to 8.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive.
And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
On the draw is Taylor.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Here's Mahomes to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete.
And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
First and 10, Taylor now.
And he'll get this up to about the 40.
Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5.
Looking to throw. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
The Commanders preparing for their next possession. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So that if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it and let's go with it.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
4 yards the pickup, first down. These two teams, they met up earlier in the year, back in week 2. And it was the Commanders who picked up the road victory, so they'll be fighting for the season sweep in this one.
They'll run with a former member of the Crimson Tide, Damian Harris. And out across midfield, down to the 45. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Now a handoff. Taylor with it.
He doesn't find a ton of space following the display of quick feet down just inside the 45. On 2nd and 9, Mahomes. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. An explosive 38-yard pickup. That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is. His ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. But also, it opens things up for the rest of the offense because they have to bring their attention to him as well.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. A line of scrimmage once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Now a give to Taylor. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington.
Jonathan Taylor, his 12th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Commanders have taken the lead.
A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. Each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. So that drives 7 plays in length.
And it was capped off by a Jonathan Taylor touchdown. A short kick taken at the 18. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30.
Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again.
And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. they've got to take care of business first.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was a terrific play, causing a loss. As a middle linebacker, simple. You can either fill holes or you can attack them, as he did there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Hurts.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he is going to bring this one back to the house. It's a Commanders touchdown on the scoop and score.
So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Carlson now to add the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6.
And a short kick taken at about the 16. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
And they come in losers of 2 straight. And remember, they've got the open date on their calendar next weekend, but you think it's vitally important, Charles, that they focus on the task at hand here?
Absolutely, because these players, they know what's coming up, and the difference between taking time off following a win versus doing so on a 3-game losing streak, that's absolutely huge, because they may come back if they lose this game to a facility, and there may be new faces in there and some teammates lost.
A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. A give, Eckler running to the right, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down.
And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well to football now.
Here's Hurts to throw. He dumps it to Eckler underneath. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
They'll get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense set to take over. Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game. And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now here's Mahomes. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
They give to Taylor out of the gun.
And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
Holding offense. Man, this is ridiculous, man.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. To throw, it's Mahomes. That's going to be caught by Pitts. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Taylor. And he's going to have a gain of 11 to the 11 before he's brought down. 1st and 10.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Now Mahomes. His pass caught at the 4. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
It's a nice completion and a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so emphatic.
And he fights his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Jonathan Taylor with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. And the Commanders take a 3-touchdown lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. That time a 6-play drive.
And it was capped off by a Jonathan Taylor touchdown.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest. You get a chance to heal up and kind of do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Draw play, it's Eckler.
And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22. From the gun, it's Hurts. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Jamin Davis. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Here comes Jonathan Taylor and his teammates.
He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals.
On 2nd and 9, Mahomes.
Got a man and he hits him in stride.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. From the gun, it's Mahomes.
Throw over the middle, going to be caught here by Pitts.
This defense hasn't let them in yet. They'll need to stiffen here. 3rd and goal from the 2. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks,
Still
waiting for
down.
the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
The ball placed just outside of the end zone as they come up again on another 3rd and goal.
They'll try and run. Taylor.
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown.
Jonathan Taylor
On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
and the Commanders continue to pull away here in this first half.
This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it. Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. A drive that time of 6 plays.
And it was capped off by a Jonathan Taylor touchdown.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready.
And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Open man, that's Devontae Smith.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
On 2nd down, Eckler. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Sometimes I think cornerbacks can benefit from the fact that quarterbacks might just forget about the idea that they might be near the line of scrimmage. How about the anticipation there, sneaking in and making a big play in the backfield?
This offense so far on 3rd down, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. They're going to look to throw. Steps away to his left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
The Eagles send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And it's going to be a short field to work with after this one. It's touchdown at the 45-yard line.
Foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Come on, baby, we gotta do our job. We gotta do our
And that hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
Well, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And if you're wondering how quick a quarterback's decision-making needs to be, and Next Gen Stats says that play took all of 2.8 seconds from beginning to end.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This is Smith with a grab. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A heck of a play there on third down, but amazingly, they're still short for fourth.
And I believe that gain on third and long changes things quite a bit, because this would be a very long field goal. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it here.
The Eagles send out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
The Commanders' offense set to take over. And they are trying to create some separation within the division. And look, CD, I know that this is still the first half of the season, but this is a big matchup no matter where it falls, because these are the top two teams right now in that division.
And if you can build a bit of a cushion as you head towards the second part of the season, that allows you to survive the expected injuries, potential upset losses, all of those things, and still be in good shape.
He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
To the right side, this is Taylor.
And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He's up to 87 yards receiving now, and it's a first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
They'll try the left side with Taylor. They'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. To throw on 2nd and 6. Mahomes. He's airing it out for Williams. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Throwing now is Mahomes. A bullet throw, but incomplete. And now comes the field goal unit on. And boy, this is asking an awful lot here. Maybe that's an understatement. And supreme confidence in the kicker turns to supreme failure, as that is obviously no good. But that shouldn't matter a great deal, as they still lead by a bundle here. Well, he does have a good leg. I'll give him that. But not that good.
Not by a long shot.
They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts.
His throw incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
And he comes back with one complete. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Over the middle, Amari Cooper. It's complete.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
On 1st down, Hurts. That one caught along the sideline. Did he stay in? Yes, he did. But hang on here. A penalty marker is on the field.
Offensive. No.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Back to throw again. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. They'll look to throw again. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted.
Tariq Woolen picks it.
And the return will stop right around the 25.
Pass interference. Defense.
Trying to cover Cooper there a little too closely.
And he's such a tough cover because he runs his route so well. Hard to stay with him and hard to figure out exactly where the break points are. And in this case, he created another pass interference call.
Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. To throw again on second down.
Hurts.
And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Tariq Woolen picks it. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown.
So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Carlson on for the PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for Washington,
they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, their season